Christina here. I made this video initially for Instagram, but I didn't realize that Instagram has a time limit of 1 minute 30 seconds. So this video was 4 minutes, so I instead put it on YouTube. So that explains the structure of the video and why it is the way that it is, but I hope you'll still enjoy it and find it of use. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Christina from That Canadian Teacher, and one of the things that I love to do is find the war records for soldiers that oftentimes would be what I call lost to history. So oftentimes these are not the individuals that are conventionally taught in our history classes. Think like John McCrae or Arthur Currie. These are individuals who are the average Canadian whose story might go unheard of or unknown. So on the Canada Remembers Facebook page, they posted this about a soldier by the name of John Mansfield from the No. 2 Construction Battalion. This is one of those individuals, someone who is just an average Canadian soldier who enlisted in the First World War and whose story is largely unknown by the wider population. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find his war record, and I'm going to take you along for that journey. Here in Canada, we're very lucky that the Library and Archives Canada has given us an opportunity to search their databases. So if you go to the personnel records of the First World War, you can put in the soldier's last name, their first name, and if you know it, any additional information. So we don't have that additional information. So I'm just going to put in his last name and first name, and I'm going to select search. From there, we have quite a few options. In fact, there's 2 pages of John Mansfield's that are posted here. And so what I'll typically do is if I don't know their birth year or roughly about how old they were, so sometimes posts like the one that we have here, sometimes they'll say things like he died when he was 21 years old and in 1916. And so I can kind of backtrack to when their birth date might be, but we don't have that kind of information about John Mansfield here. So what I do is I then just open up each individually. So I open up the first one and then I have a look. So we know from this original post that John Mansfield is from Nova Scotia. So let's have a look here. Now this John Mansfield is from London, England. So right away, we know that's not him. So let's go to the next one. This next one is from also London, England, but is presently living in Toronto. So not him either. Then we're going to go to the third. And this one says that he's from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. So this is probably him. So let's have a closer look at this individual. Now we do know by looking at the image, we know this is a Black Canadian soldier. So in the war records and in the attestation papers, usually it will identify the race of that individual. So let's have a closer look to see if this is in fact the Black Canadian soldier, John Mansfield. So here on page 2 of the war record, we can see that his complexion is listed as dark, his hair black, and his eyes brown. So we might have him here. So let's now open up the war record. So if you click on this little PDF format link, it's going to open you up his war record. Now we know from that Facebook post that our John Mansfield died in the war. So it says roughly 1 year after enlisting, he died because doctors thought he was faking his illness. So let's have a closer look and see if this is our individual. So if we have a closer look at page 11, we will see that it says Mansfield John, and it actually even says 2nd Construction Company, which we know that for Black Canadians, many of them were placed in the No. 2 Construction Battalion. So we have hit the jackpot here. Additionally, we also know that he died in service. And so here on his war record, it actually says he died, hospital not stated, and it has been now been ascertained that this soldier died. And so this is the right person. So what I will then do is I have a look at their war record to see if there is significant information that a student could use to do their own research. And so you'll notice in this particular one, there is quite a number of empty pages, which kind of shows us as an educator, there's not enough information that the student could potentially write a full assignment on, but this is a good practice for us to see how we can determine which war records would be a good choice for our students to investigate further and do some deeper research. The other thing that I missed on scrolling past the attestation papers is actually it was stamped right here, No. 2 Construction Battalion. So that would have told us right off the bat that he in fact was this soldier that we were looking for, the John Mansfield that we wanted. If you want more tips and tricks for your classroom, feel free to give me a follow on my Instagram at The Real Miss Yorio, and I hope to see you soon.